In the Qur'an, there is an account of a small group of believers who stood against an army far greater than them, not because of strength, but because of certainty. It is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 246 to 251, and explained in classical Tafsir, including the works of Ibn Kathir. If you value authentic accounts presented clearly, subscribe for more. The children of Israel once faced a situation of weakness. Their leadership had been lost, and they longed for a king to unite them and lead them in struggle. So they asked for a ruler who could organize them against their enemies. Allah appointed a man named Talut as their king, but many among them rejected him. They questioned why someone without wealth or high status was chosen. They judged him by worldly standards, not by his suitability for leadership. Their prophet informed them that the sign of Talut's kingship would be a chest returned to them. Inside, it were remnants of their heritage, a sign of reassurance. When it arrived, they accepted that his appointment was from Allah, and they prepared to go out with him. Talut led them toward confrontation. But before the test of battle, another test came first. They reached a river, and they were told not to drink from it excessively. Only a small amount was permitted for those who were truly disciplined. When they reached the water, most of them failed the test. They drank beyond the limit. Only a small group remained obedient. And with every step, the army became smaller, until only a few stayed with Talut. As they approached the enemy army, they saw its size. It was massive compared to their small group. Fear entered their hearts. Some began to doubt whether they could succeed. But among them were those who remained firm. They said, "How many times has a small group overcome a large one by the will of Allah?" And they placed their trust not in numbers, but in certainty. Then the confrontation began. Among them was a young man named Dawud. He stepped forward with faith and simplicity. And by the will of Allah, the enemy leader Jalut was defeated. With the fall of Jalut, the balance of power shifted. The small believing group prevailed. Not because they were many, but because they remained firm when others turned away. The story was never about numbers. It was about obedience, discipline, and certainty under pressure. Those who failed the small test did not reach the larger one. And those who remained were granted victory. Victory in the Qur'an is not tied to size or strength. It is tied to steadfastness when tested, and certainty when fear becomes overwhelming.